This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by MindThings.com. I'm standing with Rich Paul of New Hampshire. I don't actually know which part of New Hampshire, but New Hampshire's good enough for me. And you are being discussed a great deal lately because of what happened to you a couple weeks ago. You were picked up for a marijuana charge. They were charging you with selling. And while you were in the Cheshire County Jail?
No, I didn't even make it there. They took me to the Keene Police Department.
Okay, while you were in limbo briefly in the Keene Police Department, something really unusual happened to you in Liberty circles in New Hampshire, and that is an FBI agent approached you. And tell me the rest.
Well, the FBI agent approached me. He attempted to blackmail me. He claims to have evidence of marijuana sales that I've made over the time. He attempted to blackmail me into wearing a wire and infiltrating the political organization called the Keene Activist Center. Now, you have to understand, this is a political organization. This is a group that exists to create political change. So they weren't going after criminals. They were going after the political opposition.
Well, it's also got a social side. And sometimes that's bigger than the political side.
But still, a social political club.
Right.
They're not going after a criminal organization. They're going after a social and
all
political
organizations in America are criminal organizations because everything is against the law.
Well, it's true. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, there exists a statute under which you can be booked.
Yeah.
But whether you did it or not. But well, anyway,
I'm curious is that, what I heard, I haven't heard too many details, but he wanted you to gauge certain people's reactions when you said certain things to them. What were they looking for exactly?
Well, the first thing is I tried to find out a little bit, and I was going to play along until they actually strapped the wire to me and then say, no, I'm not doing this. The problem is they wanted to question me first. So they started asking me questions before giving me very much information, at which point I invoked my right to counsel because I wasn't going to answer their questions, and there was no way to keep up the pretense I was going to work with them without answering their questions.
I see, okay.
So
you're not sure they're not sure exactly what they were looking for then.
The first thing that they told me was that they wanted me to go back and they wanted me to say that I had been picked up as a suspect in a robbery, that they had quickly realized that they had the right person and thrown me back. And that was just the cover-up story for the fact that I had been arrested and then suddenly released.
And they wanted to see people's reactions to you talking about a robbery. But
well, they wanted to see people's reactions to that. They wanted to see who started asking me questions and trying to get details about the arrest and really trying to dig into whether my cover story was really true.
So they wanted to come out. They wanted to know about people who are doing what I'm doing right now.
Exactly. Getting
detailed questions.
And I would imagine that what they were looking to identify through that is guilty minds, the kind of people who were concerned about police infiltration, and that shows a basic misunderstanding of who we are, because even though there is no criminal activity that I know of in the Keene Activist Center, nonetheless I'm not going to wear a wire in there because it's the wrong freaking thing to do, whether or not it gets anybody in trouble. And I don't think they understand us very well. I don't think the FBI understands what makes an anarchist tick. I really don't.
Well, and of course, a lot of people involved in this movement are not anarchists.
Yeah.
But it seems like they do understand us well enough to have not really done that much to us in the first 10 years of our existence, and that's something.
It's true.
Yeah.
They have been pretty slow to take serious action against us, and I've noticed over the last year that there has been an escalation in sentences, an escalation in charges, an increase in felony charges, but that's to be expected. To me, that just means that they're starting to fear our power. And good, it means that they're starting to notice that we're putting things forward in Concord that are actually happening, and I'm all for that. But as we succeed, they will escalate their tactics against us, I predict.
Now, in some ways, I kind of see a similarity between what happened to you and what happened to, and this is going to be scary, but what happened to Danny Riley, the Ed Brown supporter back in 2007, where he was briefly attacked with a taser or something like that. Then they let him go. Then they took him out. Later, you know, he's gone.
They killed him?
No, he's 40 years in jail. He'll die in jail unless the federal government collapses first.
Right.
So they gave him 40 years, and they charged him with, you know, like trying to make an explosive to help Ed Brown defend his house or something like that, which he may or may not have done. But
Sure.
but anyway, what he did is a little bit similar to what you did. Was he made a point of making as much noise as he could as soon as they came after him that first time, and he did a YouTube video and stuff like that. Well, what do you plan on doing that he didn't do to make sure you don't end up like him?
Well, there isn't very much that I can do. If they want to kill me, they can kill me, and if they want to imprison me for the rest of my life, they can imprison me for the rest of my life. It's a corrupt system. They're holding all the keys. We don't hold any of them.
Basically, I think we've made our point. Let's go have a party.
The people have been disenfranchised, except in a few areas. The jury system is one of the very few areas where people retain power. So I'm going to try and bring in as many activists as I can from FIJA, the Fully Informed Jury Association, to talk about jury nullification.
FIJA.org.
Absolutely.
FIJA.org. Have you played your fill of pro-government video games? MineThings.com could be the solution. It's free, imaginative, and you can play it entirely in your web browser. Recolonize the smothered earth, dig up cool artifacts, compete with other players in a free market scramble. Just remember to use the coupon code RIDLEY. That gives you twice the mining rate. MineThings.com